What is up, my ducks and drakes? Welcome to the Crawdad Lake, and today we'll be reading Pokmon, The Greater World by Veechers on Wattpad. If you'd like to check out the book or the author for yourself, look in the description below. Description of the book. This story is about one young woman and how she became the one to discover the new read to find out. Hehe. So, just a quick note. None of this is mine, not the characters, not the story, and I've been given explicit permission by the author to read this book. So I'm very excited. And so, Chapter 1, The Before. Page 1. It was a sunny day. As she walked outside, she could feel the small waves of heat coming from the sun, and the wind swirling around her as she danced in the waves of beauty. Donatella? Come now, or you'll be late for the play. Don't make me come out there, somebody yelled from inside the house. I know, I was just checking to see if there was clouds. No need to worry, Mom, Donatella yelled back as she walked back into the house with a smile on her face. What's the best thing to wear? She thought as she was skimming through all her clothes. All she could find was a little dress that looked like it could fit her dark skin as good as any dark dresses. That was when she heard knocking on the bedroom door. She quickly put on her dress and opened the door. When she opened it, she was surprised not just to see one person, but seeing two people sitting right outside her door. She had known that Mom had been going out more often, but she didn't think that Mom had found a new husband. No, she whispered. It seemed that they had not noticed what she had said, or maybe just not processed it yet, but she wouldn't let this happen. Hello, Donatella. I am the professor of this town. You might not have heard of me, but I have been talking to your mother, and we think it's time you got your Pokemon, since you didn't get it at 10 when the last professor disappeared, he said. At the moment, she felt great relief and much happiness. When do I get my Pokemon? Asked Donatella with a sigh. After the play, honey, said Mom, and so they drove into the new day. Page 2. Great job, sweetie. We were in the car on the way to the professor's lab. Thanks, Mom. Yet she was thinking of something other than the play. What Pokemon? The question was circling around her like a butterfly, not knowing where to land. Yet she didn't realize what she was doing at the time. She was already walking up to the cold wooden stairs up to the professor's lab. Her face was glistening with drops of sweat from the play and just walking up the stairs. All of a sudden her eyes weren't faced the lab. There was a blur, and her sight lifted through the walls of the lab and straight into a Pokeball. It was cold. All she could see was walls of what looked like red and white and a little black. But then, she was in paradise, a land of wonder and magic, the place she could only dreamed of. She looked down at her feet. They weren't hers. They were long yet skinny, red and white. Suddenly, she was on a bed in what looked like a professor's. It was messy, and the room was filled with books and Pokeballs. My head, said Donatella. It took a lot of strength to say, but she knew that she had been asleep for a while because she was starving. The room burst open. What happened? You scared me! Screamed Mom. I don't know. She was on the verge of fainting, but she knew she had to stand up, so she got all the energy left and scrambled out of bed and to the door, to the 3 Pokeballs. As soon as she saw the first, she said, That one. But you don't even know what... Scorbunny, about 1 meter tall. Their nature is dominant. Here you go, Donatella. I guess you know... wait. You never even saw him. Well, I guess you have some sort of gift. I have to go. I'm so sorry, Mom and Professor. Images were rushing through her brain. Someone was being attacked by something black and red. She turned around and went straight into the forest and let out her Pokemon by instinct. Page 3. I was running as fast as I could through the woods across the water. Score Bunny was keeping up, but with the cost of getting his little feet hurt. I noticed this right when he was falling. I stopped catching him, not focusing on the situation. I made it to where I saw the picture in my mind. I looked around and saw someone on the ground. Their skin color had almost faded completely. They had bruises and cuts all over their arms, and they were wearing a lab coat. It looked like they were only 9. I looked around and didn't see anyone, yet I could feel one more person somewhere around here, so I was cautious not to make any sound till I had gotten him off the ground and on my shoulders. I ran. I was still cautious, but I was running. With Score Bunny in one hand and the kid in the other, I knew someone was following me. Think. Score Bunny, use growl up in the air. I heard a whisper. I wasn't sure if it would work, but it did. I had my Pokemon on my tail. Most likely one of the bad people. All of a sudden, we were back in the lab. I saw the white concrete with the P on top of it. I didn't think I could be this happy to see it. Wait, no. This isn't right, I thought. There's one more person. I can feel it. Professor, I need help now! I was still running with a frown on my face. Then it happened. I was still going, but my leg just missed the step and I collapsed. The last thing I saw was someone running out and looking at me in the corner of their eye. Professor, I stuttered. Page 4. I woke up in the hospital. I couldn't feel my legs, and my back was really stiff. I was in a white robe wrapped around my entire body. I had known that something would happen, but not this. Then I sat up. It hurt, but not as much as it had when I collapsed. How is he? Is he all right? Said Donatella. I had known someone was just at the entrance of the room. I could feel their presence. As she walked into the room, more details was revealed. She had blonde hair, and her skin was redder than most people. She was most likely in the sun all day. Hello. I'm the nurse of this town. Are you asking about the boy who rescued you? He's doing just fine. He's been more worried about you than himself, actually. Let me go get him. He's just over in the... Donatella? Is that your name? Then someone came into my room. They were definitely the person who had seen before, but they were in different clothes now. More normal style. I got to know him a bit better. Score Bunny was doing amazing and dancing around everyone and everything. Apparently he was the son of the professor and was studying to become one. He was trying to find out something, but by going off the clues that his father had left, his father was coming to get him right now. Oh, and his name was Frio. So, what is your goal as a professor, Frio? Do you have something you specifically want to study, or just everything? I guess I haven't really thought about it, but I heard about a whole new, 100 Pokemon recently found. I really want to find some myself. What? Where is this? I need to check it out. I can introduce you to my father, and he could see if you are the right person for the job. We talked a bit more and stopped on one thing specifically. We met as soon as possible. Page 5. It had been about an hour since him and Donatella had talked about the new region. The weather was beginning to change into stormy clouds, all shaped differently. When I got bored, I would start muttering to myself about what shapes the clouds were forming. At one point, they looked like a Zapdos, and at another, they changed into what looked like a Pokeball that was opened. She thought about what this would have meant, but gave up after a few minutes. Hello, Frio. Someone came walking to the hospital with a worried smile on their face. I was told about someone... how they attacked you. Are you alright, Frio? I listened some more and heard some footsteps go past my room. Hey, Dad. Yeah, I'm alright. There were a few whispers, and I heard some more footsteps towards my room. I got out of my bed hastily, but carefully as I stood there, I realized I didn't have much clothes on, and I quickly put on some clothes Mother had left for me. Hello, your name is Donatella, I heard. As I put on my last sock, I saw someone come through the door. I hope we're not intruding. I heard you were interested in the new region of Pokmon we found. Since you have saved my son here, I must repay you in some way. He came closer and said, How would you like to go to the new region and help us find some new Pokemon? I had no response. I was in shock. I thought of ways to ask to go, but never would I have thought he would invite me, so I said in a thankful tone, That would be wonderful. What time do you want me to do it? As I said this, I looked up at him with a smile on my face. Page 6. He looked back at me, but instead of a smile, I saw the look of someone thinking about something that wasn't in the room, rather in the skies above. Is something wrong? The color drained from his face and was put back as fast as it had gone, but now it was shaped as a smile. No, everything's fine. We'll meet as soon as you recovered fully. I can't wait to begin working with you. I will look forward to going to the new region then, I said with a curious look on my face. Then they left the room through the stormy day, and my mother came into the room. I was so worried about you, Donatella. I'm proud to be your mother. You saved a life today. We stood there looking at each other. My mom began to cry. You've grown so big, Donatella. I wish I could have been there for you. After a while, my mother said her goodbyes and said she would be sleeping next door in the Pokemon Center tonight. Page 7. The next day. It was a bright and sunny day. She had slept till noon before the nurse came into her room. Rise and shine. They are ready to take you to the new region soon, but first, you must get dressed, eat, and say bye to your mother. The nurse proceeded to pull the blanket off me. It's morning already. Donatella gets out of bed. Alright, I'm up. Please leave me so I can get dressed. The nurse smiles and walks out the door while closing and locking the door. I walk around to the windows and pull down the curtains before checking to see if anyone was there. I check around to see the box that wasn't there last night. Clothes for tomorrow. Mom. I opened the box to see a black shirt with the score bunny on it and some plain black pants. I then put it on and walked out the door. After I ate some Pokemon cereal, I thank the nurse and walk out the door. I come across a big white and red building with the red Pokeball on top. I walk in and go to the Nurse Joy at the red counter. Hello, Nurse Joy. May I see my mother? Of course. She's in the back. Just walk around the counter, through the door, with some runes signed on it. I walk down the hallway, but stopped after I see a sign on a door reading, Wait to find out tomorrow. Oh man, says, haha JK, but tomorrow I'll have something new. Page 8. The door read Pokemon from the new region under care of Nurse Joy. I started to walk towards it, but stopped when I heard someone behind me say, We need a trainer to take care of the Pokemon in here. Would you like to, Donatella? I recognized the voice as Nurse Joy before turning and saying, May I see the Pokemon? I really want to explore the new region soon. Of course. Nurse Joy opened the door and saw a shadow of a Pokemon with a long body and 4 legs that was bursting muscles all over it, as if the skin could barely hold them. It had a face with what looked like a long beard and 2 blue eyes. It kind of looked like a tyrant, but a little longer, with 4 legs. Its name is Tugnane. Do you want to keep him? Definitely. She handed me a large bone with bite marks all over it. You're going to need this to keep him in order, to keep him from running off. He loves to tug on things. It's one of the reasons his name is Tugnane. I walked towards Tugnane and said, Would you like to become my partner? He came closer and closer. He walked up to me. It bit me right on the nose. Page 9. Ow! I whimpered after jumping backwards. Tugnane looked very happy. It was putting its 2 front legs in the air like he was a cheerleader with pom-poms. Tugnane! It was chanting over and over. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Here. Nurse Joy handed me an ice pack covered in a cloth. Thanks. Why is he so happy? Nurse Joy pointed at a Pokédex at him and said, Listen to this. The Pokédex started talking and it said, Tugnane, the tug Pokemon. It loves to bite down on things, and it likes to pull them around. So, it likes me? Yep. Nurse Joy handed me a Pokeball and pressed down on it, facing Tugnane. Take him. He likes you. He never did that to me. It'll be a good experience. Just make sure to keep a close eye on him. Tugnane was sucked into the Pokemon, and I continued down into the hall till I saw the door with the sign on it that read, Guess. I was about to knock, but before I could, the door opened. Page 10. Hello, Donatella, Mom said as the door swung open. How are you today, Mother? I wanted to know how she felt about me leaving so bad, but I knew I had to be patient. I had to remember her sadness and how she felt when I leave. I'm doing good. How are you? My mother looked determined not to cry, so I kept the conversation going. I wanted to go, but Mom had taken care of me for 10 minutes, so it wouldn't be that bad. I'm alright. I'm excited to go with the scientists to the new region. And, oh look! I already got 2 new Pokemon. I was interrupted by my mother. I'm sorry. I can't go. I wish I could, but I must stay. Mom looked sad, like she had been wanting to go, but knew it couldn't happen. It's alright, Mom, but cheer up. Look at my new Pokemon, I said with a look of sincerity. I took up the Pokeball and let out Tugnane. Oh, cool! How'd you get that one, and where? That was a change of mood, so I happily said, It's a Pokemon of the new region. Nurse Joy gave him to me. After a long conversation, we both walked out. She headed towards our house, while I went to start a new journey. Chapter 2, New Region, page 11. When are we gonna be there? Also, you still haven't told me what this mysterious place is. Donatella sits back in the car and tries to stretch, but fails miserably. She slumps back and tries to sleep, but her eyes keep twitching as the car twists and turns. We're here, Felix announced. Donatella nearly breaks the seatbelt from jumping in joy. Then she pauses. Where is here? She looks around and finds the car in a huge dark compartment. In a boat to bring us to the new island. She looks around, and at that moment, the ground twists. She nearly dies from surprise. Is this the new fairy car 1.0? Felix rolls his eyes. Did you think we'd be ditching this car? So that is all that has been updated with the book so far, but the person that recommended this to me really wanted to see it, and so did the author, so I'm saying that because the person who recommended it was the author. I know, right? And they wanted to see it read, so I decided I'd read it in between this book and the next book I'm reading, which is, you guessed it, another Sandersides fanfic, because what else do I got going on in my life? Nothing. Let's do this, fam squad. But if you liked what you read today and are thinking, hey, I write fanfiction, then go ahead and submit your fic or a fic of another author's in the description below. Make sure the book is finished, or at least close to finished, though. This was the exception, so yeehaw. There's also a link to the Gift of Fanfiction, which is a fanfiction event I'm going to be holding every year. I started last year, and this is the second annual one, so go ahead and see the rules for that in the description below. There's also my socials, like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. There's a channel Discord, there's my Etsy, and there's my second channel where I go live, so make sure you follow those things. And just, I really hope you enjoyed. I love reading things outside of standard sides. I love standard sides, but that's literally all I read most of the time. So getting to read something outside of standard sides is always a great experience, especially with something as enjoyable and as fun and lovable as Pokemon. So thank you so much for listening, and much like when you're trying to help a boy who is in a new region, do your best.